Hey, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, then hi, my name is Erica, and today I want to talk about parasocial relationships, and particularly parasocial relationships between an adult content creator and a minor. So I came up with the idea for this video because of a few things. Most recently, it has came out that Helloleesh has a friendship with a young fan. Now, I'm not here to speculate on the nature of that relationship. I'm not here to speculate on Helloleesh's intentions. I'm not here to accuse anybody of anything, and I just want to make that clear up front. I am simply here to discuss this issue because ultimately it's bigger than just Helloleesh, because with the ubiquity of the internet, children are going to be online, and odds are at some point they are going to be interacting with an adult. So I think this is a topic that we all need to be thinking about, and that we all need to be talking about, because okay, and one last thing I wanted to add is that Helloleesh, whether intentionally or unintentionally, has spread some personal information about the child, and I just don't think that's appropriate. Like, because I was a regular viewer of Helloleesh's, like, for a few months, I remember in live streams her saying things about this child, and I'm like, as an adult, I should not know these things about a random child on the internet. And also, another thing that concerns me about this whole situation is, from my understanding of this, and I could be wrong here, but I think that the child might also interact with a lot of Helloleesh's other fans who are adults. So not only is she, or not only is this child interacting with Helloleesh, but also with other adults on the internet, which I think is putting the child in not danger, but putting the child in a situation that can become dangerous. Like, I want to be clear here that I am not accusing anybody of anything. I'm just saying that this is, it's putting a child in a situation that has a lot of adults in it, and I just don't think that's appropriate for a child to be interacting with all of these adults online like this. And I think it's up to the content creator to put that boundary there and say, no, I am not going to interact with you in this way. So yeah, that's about all I had to say. Another thing I wanted to add was, to my knowledge, Alicia has no formal training in anything like psychology. According to her LinkedIn, she has a bachelor's in early childhood development, but like, if you have no qualifications to like act as emotional support for a child, then I really don't think you should be doing that. And I know that a lot of people may disagree, but it's just like, if you don't have training in something, number one, I mean, normally professionals would not seek out the person they're going to help, but also number two, if you are not properly trained and you're not fully aware of what you're doing, you can end up doing more harm than good. And I don't think that's what people want to do, but it's just the reality of the situation. Because it's not about one person, it's about a bigger issue, and hopefully by the end of this video you will see that. But the reason why I personally think having any type of a relationship or a friendship as an adult with a minor online is that it blurs the lines. It blurs the lines of boundaries. And that doesn't mean that every adult befriending a child online has these nefarious intentions. And I'm not saying that. But the issue with it is that even if one adult has good intentions and they want to be like a mentor or a role model to a child, what happens is then that child is not going to understand clear boundaries with adults online, so they may be more trusting of adults online in the future, which can lead to terrible circumstances that I think we can all agree, hopefully, that we do not want to happen to children. And also, because of the public nature of parasocial relationships, it doesn't only affect that child. It also affects every other child who is witnessing this friendship, because then they'll see it and be like, oh, that's And this is something that Ambi's Rambles has said in her live stream yesterday. But like other children might see that and be like, oh, it's so cool. So and so just befriended their favorite creator, so I'm going to try that. And as we've seen with people like Hannah Campbell and James Charles and Colleen Hellinger, not every creator has the child's best interest in mind. So we don't want other kids to get ideas and think that it's okay to befriend an adult creator. And it's just inappropriate, because this is something that I truly believe, but I believe that children need clear boundaries. Because as a child, you are very naive. You don't really understand yet how, like, all of the terrible things that go on in the world. So you need to have clear boundaries, because, like, if not, it's just gonna set you back in life and make it very hard for you to form relationships, because you're going to have trust issues. Because if somebody at a young age breaks your trust in some way, shape, or form, which is probably going to happen if children are very trusting of strangers on the internet, is they're gonna end up getting hurt. And then they're gonna have issues with boundaries and trust later in life, which is something that you don't want to have to deal with. One thing I just wanted to get on here and say real quick is I saw that in Helloleesh's notes app thing on her Instagram story, she said that the video Abby's Rambles made about this situation was a hit piece, and that this situation is not fodder for a hit piece. And I have to disagree with that, because number one, and of course I cannot know what Abby intended, but I don't think the video she put out was a hit piece. Bambi's Rambles didn't just attack Helloleesh. She was talking about this specific situation and why it gave her pause. Not every video that is critical about someone, even if that person has made videos about said person in the past, it doesn't mean they're trying to, like, attack this person. If something raises a red flag, people are free to talk about that. And I just think that's very important on the internet, is we shouldn't just label anything that is critical of someone as hate or a hit piece, because, like, I don't know Abby's Rambles personally, but I do know that she says in her videos she's a mother, so she has children. So this is probably something that concerns her, because she could probably see this happening to her children. So just because like, I'm not making this video to hate on anybody. I'm just making this video to shed light on a specific issue that affects the entire internet, and that is all I really want to do. And I also just think that it's not even like people are saying, because I'm going back to the Helloleesh situation now, but people are saying that like this, bringing this situation to life, no, I mean to light, not to life, is harming the child. And now I'm going to have to disagree with that. And here's why. Because I think that's the issue with these parasocial relationships, is it puts a child in a vulnerable position because other people see this public relationship. So, like, it opens the child up to criticism. And now I really want to be clear here that I'm not saying that people should be criticizing the child, because that is not the case. The child in this situation did nothing wrong. And even if they did, at the end of the day, they're a child. So it is up to adults to make sure that these things don't happen. And I think a lot of people that are bringing up, this is harming the child, and they are deflecting from the actual issue at hand, because this is a much larger issue. Adults, and this might be a very unpopular opinion, but adults that don't know a specific child should not be going out of their way to befriend that child, unless you're in a role where you have to have some sort of a relationship with a child. You should not be going out of your way to form a relationship with any child, because it's not appropriate. Even if you have good intentions, and I'm going to give Helloleesh the benefit of the doubt and say she probably has good intentions. She probably thinks she's serving as a role model and a mentor to this child, but ultimately it's just not. It's not appropriate. If you think a child is in danger, you should contact their parents or contact the authorities if you think the parents are somehow harming the child. And no, I mean, I'm not saying you should be doing this to strangers on the internet, because ultimately you don't know what's going on. And so you shouldn't just all willy-nilly call the authorities about everything. But I'm saying if you truly have a concern, then either speak to the parents or the authorities if it comes to that. But you should not be befriending the child. You should not be telling them to DM you, because that's not appropriate. It's not appropriate for a random adult on the internet. And this goes for any adult, not even just adults with platforms. But no adult on the internet should be talking to a child and then telling them to privately message them, because then that's going to, and other people may not agree with me on this, and that is fine, but I feel like it's going to set a precedent for that child that if random adults on the internet reply to you and say, private message me please, and then they're gonna do it, because they're gonna be like, oh, well, last time I did this and I ended up having this really cool friendship. And it's like, I think that's a very dangerous precedent to set. And I know people are going to be like, Erica, you don't even have children. And yes, and that is true. I do not have any children. But I still think, as a human being, we should all care about the welfare of children, and of not allowing these parasocial relationships to cross boundaries, because I think it's dangerous, and that's what I think, and not everybody has to agree with me, and I'm sure that a lot of people won't. But I do think this is an important conversation to have, because of instances with like Hannah Campbell, and how allegedly she had a lot of minors in her group chats, and allegedly she was sending very appropriate messages to these children, and that is very scary, and I think it's a lot more common than people would like to think. And yeah, that's just my opinion on this whole situation, and please do not name this child down below. If you do that, your comment will be deleted, because I do not want this child to be put in further in danger. So if you do that, your comment is just gonna be deleted. I'm not even gonna acknowledge it. It's just gonna be deleted. And I'm not one to delete comments, but if I think it is endangering somebody, then I'm going to do that. And thank you so much for watching. I would say I hope you enjoyed this video, but that's not appropriate for a video like this. I hope it's not something you enjoyed, but I hope it made you think. I hope it helped spread awareness, and I hope that maybe this opens up a broader conversation. But thank you so much. If in any way this video has helped you learn anything, please give it a big thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again next time. Bye.